First thing you want to do is take your file or farrier's rasp, get it good and hot in the fire, and let it cool down slowly. This is what we call annealing. Makes it easier to drill and machine later. Grind the teeth clean off and start cutting out that handle material. This one's getting a pair of brass bolsters, which will go great with that purple wood. Tracing the shape of the blade and cutting it out using a 14-inch cutting disc on a bench grinder. Using the stone wheel now to true up the shape. Little bitty stone to get into that finger notch. There's Gabe cutting out the brass bolsters. And here I am now on the belt, getting them sanded and ground flush with each other. We're going to go ahead and drill the holes through the blade, through the handle material, the bolsters, all of that, and start grinding. Big old stone wheel makes short work of doing those hollow grinds. I love my stone wheels. You can't beat the economy of them. In for the quench. We're going to harden the blade, but it's a bit brittle, so let's temper it against a piece of red-hot steel. Polishing it off now, and onto the belt grinder. A couple different grits. We're going to go ahead and give it a nice satin finish, and we're going to go ahead and use some brass rod and peen those bolsters together. Now I'm really trying to smash those brass rods down, because if you do it right, you'll be able to sand them and they'll basically vanish. You won't even be able to tell there's any pins in there. Cutting out that beautiful stabilized wood from 285 Woodworks and cutting them a little oversized, so I have a little bit of room for error there. Some epoxy glue, tap, tap, tap the pins in and peen those down. We're going to go back to the various sanders in the shop and start shaping that handle. This is what we call the slack belt, meaning it's not backed by anything. Helps it to conform to those curves and kind of give the whole thing a nice smooth radius. You can see I use different widths of belts. Little belt is helpful for getting into that little notch. Buffing wheels, starting to shine it up now. Here's a great big buffing wheel, and that's going to be my final handle finish. Look at that. Now I'm going to go ahead and start sharpening the blade. I'm going to start with a 120 grit belt. Now I'm going to a 400 belt with lots of wax. And now just a bare felt wheel with some green buffing compound. And you can see it's razor sharp, slices paper easily, it'll shave hair. Look at that. Beautiful. What do you think, guys? Let me know. Did I do all right on this one? Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later on.